Hi there, my name is SW Miron, and this is Glass Skulls Mental Health Podcast, episode 27. Today, I really wanted to just take a pause. For a while now, week after week, I've been doing like a specific strategy and how to use it, kind of sharing some anecdotes from my own life. And I did a really big presentation this week where I had to prepare visual slides and speak in front of 130 people in this very intimate setting for like 45 minutes to an hour. And it was like a turning point in my life in a way, and I left there feeling more at peace with many of like the things that were in my past that were traumatic that like still haunt me. So I wanted to make today a little different than usual. So this is me reintroducing myself. Hi, I'm SW Miron. I am the author of Scenes from My Skeleton Closet. This is a tattoo that's supposed to go with that. Pretty sweet, right? I love tattoos, if you can't tell. I just love positive messages. And to me, every single picture on my body represents something that is a memory that I want to remember, or a person that I want to remember. So if I have these pictures, it truly makes me feel more confident and more like actively grateful every day, because I just, I look down, I see my pink carnation from my mom, or I look at the picture of the lighthouse that I have for my grandmother. And I don't know, it's just when you stop and have those quick reminders, it's easy to have like the gates of gratitude like finally like flood all the way out. So I wanted to, for anybody that has not read the book yet, I want to just read you chapter 1. It's very short. The book is written, it's 266 pages. However, it is in 50 like baby chapters. It's written like diary style. It's basically the components of like all of my journals across like my age of like, I don't know, 12 or something, all the way up to 35. Yeah, 35. All right, so this is the beginning. Forward, chapter 1. Hello. Please be mindful this book comes with a big warning label for a reason. It is recommended for adult readers only, and there is a high level of triggering content, including topics such as grief, infertility, suicidality, suicide attempts, drug addiction, sexual violence, domestic violence, self-harm, and familial trauma, to name a handful. I've lived a lot, I've loved a lot, I've hurt a lot, and I've lost a lot. But I've learned so much too. I had some of the most incredible memories of my life that weave in and out between the really graphic years of struggle that have irrevocably scarred my two brothers and my parents in such a profound way that they will each battle PTSD until their time comes, all without any intent to cause harm. I have most certainly done my time suffering and continue to, which has led me here to writing this book that I swore I would start writing back in 2006. Well, here it is. I fought battles on behalf of so many humans that were struggling and then that did not feel brave enough. I've lived in dark places that you cannot get to with a flashlight and 20/20 vision. Trust me, you don't want to be in my head. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies, and boy, wait until you hear about them. Mental health is messy. People don't like messy. Scary even. I'm a professional at starting over. I'm also a professional masker, meaning I know how to mask my symptoms so well that you would think day in and day out that I was always okay. We both know that's not the truth. I used to believe this was a bad thing or a failure. However, I can say with confidence I have changed my own mind, especially in the last few years. Is leaving the past behind such a bad thing? Starting over again in the moment and using a variety of strategies to combat the challenging emotions? We all have things we celebrate, suffer through, and grieve. The work you put into finding some strategies that will work for you will determine the effectiveness. You can decide what you think once you get to the last page. I am so happy we found each other. Please join me as we start to crack open my skeleton closet, one skeleton at a time. Welcome to Scenes from My Skeleton Closet. So that just kind of gives you like a feel for, I don't know, my voice, my way of writing. I can't tell you that every sentence is grammatically correct, or that there's not like a million curse words, because there are. But it's real, it's raw, and it was a really important thing that I did in my life. I always, when I was a little girl, like I probably was in like 3rd grade, and I already knew, when I grow up, I'm going to write a book. Like it's on my bucket list. Just one of the big, great things I'm going to do with my super smart brain and my good grades. So yeah, I ended up writing a book. So imagine that. But it took me about a year to do so. I had a lot of my like journals and stuff, but like reliving and re-digging up literally like every little thing I could possibly squeeze into like a book, not being 500 pages. I picked what I thought were like the most important events. I used to think, like when I was counting down for the book to go live on sale on Amazon, Barnes & Noble online, Walmart online, Powell's Books, all these places, when I was counting down for that, I was kind of getting a little bit scared, because it was hitting me like, oh my God, I literally just put my whole life and like, every key player, every other person, family, friend, acquaintance, bad guy, good guy, into this book. And it hit me that I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what if I want to take this back, right? What if I don't want my secrets to be out? I quickly was able to talk myself out of that like super anxious moment, because I realized like this was just, I always tell my story anywhere that I go. Anyone that I really want to get to have like an actual friendship or relationship with, they have to know like some really critical pieces of information regarding my mental illnesses and like the different triggers and things like that. But yeah, I don't know, the book went live. There's been, on the last report I got a couple weeks ago, there was 213 copies that were sold, and there's ebook and also paperback, of course. So like that was so shocking. Like that was just, I thought they were going to say I sold 25 books or something, and that would have been so exciting too. But to hear 213, it made me totally feel like, yep, I was meant to do this. I was absolutely meant to take this leap and be that brave, because that it is brave. I mean, I was raw, I was honest. I talked about every bad thing, every mistake I ever made, every downfall, every time I had to start over again and again and again. But the reaction, the feedback that I was getting, like so many people were getting some help just because they're reading the story of my shit show of a life, and they're thinking, oh my God, somebody else knows what this feels like. Somebody else lives with this every day. It makes you, like, if you're someone battling these things, I think that the biggest bit of feedback I've gotten from people is that as you're like reading it, it's so validating for yourself, because here is finally somebody that really truly does understand, what it's like to go through some pretty scary stuff with mental health, and some pretty horrific traumas that unfortunately I endured in my life. But when I this past week got up on stage in front of 130 people at the Rensselaer County Spare Coalition meeting, that was like, if I thought that it meant being brave when waiting for the book to launch, this was like 10 times that bravery, right? Because here I am now to speak for 45 minutes to an hour using visual slides that I create for me to literally sit down and tell my honest to God story to this mixture of wonderful humans in this crowd. I over prepared for it like crazy. I practiced so many times, and when I got announced to go up there and I, said hi and took a seat in my chair and, just started to have a conversation, really. It was probably the most freeing thing I've ever done in my entire life. Because although the two absolute evil scumbags, getting to say their names and say I was raped by Frank and Josh, that already, it feels so freeing, because when you go so long with nobody believing you, first of all, when you, in the years that, happened directly after it, but then it's this is 20 years later. This past year was the 20th anniversary of that event. And I survived all the way here. So, yeah, so I also obviously have this podcast because you are sitting here watching me on it right now. I would love it if you would subscribe, because I'm going to really have kind of a start over, and start planning different ways to, bring content to this channel. So thank you to everybody that has subscribed and have continued to watch. It means so much to me. I want to share with you some lyrics that I came across in a song. They're actually these two sets are from the same song. It's called Crash First, and it's by Honest Ave and MGK. The song is called Crash First. I fill my lungs with half my worth, and I try to go numb so that I can't hurt. 'Cause at my highs, I'm at my worst, and I can't fly until I crash first. And if my eyes roll back, then let the tears come first. Been holding those in too long, faking it like I'm too strong. First time I heard that song, I immediately played it again. Love my music. It's my favorite form of coping. I wanted to show you the reason that I'm not in my regular podcast space is I have this wall. This is I don't really know what to call it. We'll say my art / coaching / dancing / closet room. I have this board that my husband put together for me, and on it is a bunch of different artifacts that have meant something to me or made me feel very good, or a very positive, strong emotion. And I hang them here because when I am really low and I cannot even get out of bed for days on end because I'm so depressed, I can just look at this and something is bound to speak to me. I'm going to just show you a couple examples of things I had. This was given to me by the therapist that I saw the last time that I was in Four Winds Psychiatric Hospital. It says, "You've got this," and then you open it up and it's supposed to be giving you a really specific message. It says, "Don't quit. Save that tiny little ember of spark." I held on to that to think of her and how great she was. This is a card that was given to me by two of my cheerleaders when I coached varsity. It was about Mother's Day weekend, around that time. And, if you read the book, you'll find out that, me and my husband struggled with infertility, and ultimately, due to my mental illnesses and trauma, it's not safe for me to have a baby. So I know I seem very cavalier talking about that, but I finally processed that after years and years and years. So I was gifted this card and some flowers on the practice closest to Mother's Day, and it said, "Hi, Coach. I hope this doesn't upset you because all my intentions are good. I know Mother's Day is hard for you, and I wanted to remind you not to give up, and I hope your dreams come true. I think you would be an amazing mom. You are so sweet and welcoming to us during our first year, and I thought you deserved flowers. Thank you for being a second mom." Like that one like gives me chills already, like reading that back. Like I'll never forget in that moment how amazing those kids made me feel, because they just understood. Like, I mean, they were kids. They're 10th, 11th, 12th graders, but they could see my sadness. They could see how badly, I wanted that. And they knew that there was supposed to be, a baby Miron that would be coming at some point, and they all wanted to throw the baby shower. Like, it's been discussed, so that was kind of helpful in like being able to move forward. Lastly, because I think that's all I have time. Oh, I have so many good ones. Well, I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to kind of show it to you slowly. So you just trace both of your hands. And on this side, there's all the stuff that you want to hold on to. So hope, teaching, coaching, bravery, my therapist, radical acceptance, breathing, mindfulness, grounding skills, journaling, kindness, and then the names of individual people in my family that mean the world to me. And then on this side, you trace your other hand and you do let go. Don't mind my shaking. It's always how my hands are. And this was pain from trauma, worrying thoughts, guilt, perfectionism, and the past. And I did this as a quick activity when I was in an art therapy group in Four Winds. And it's something that I've kept forever, because what a good visual reminder of the specific strategies and skills that I learned that literally are my lifeline to this day. It's just so wonderful to get to look back at that, because it just takes me to that room with those people. And I know we were all strangers, or at least you come in as, a stranger. You leave as a family. Like, you worry, right? Like, oh my gosh, people are going to judge me. Like, they're going to think I'm like crazy. Like, all these things, these worrying thoughts, because if you're in crisis and you need to go to a hospital, like, it's super scary, the idea that you're getting dropped off somewhere, locked up, and can't leave at all until the doctors release you. So yeah, I don't know. I hold close to me those strategies that I've learned. So I think I'm gonna go like in review of many of them, because there are new people that are starting to follow my accounts in this channel. So I want to be able to kind of reiterate the really important ones, because they're like invaluable to any person, whether you have mental illness or not. It's just stuff that can make your day a better day. So I figure, why gatekeep these amazing, simple-ish strategies and not share them with the whole world, when I know damn well that like my life did not improve until I started to use them every day. Like, I went through the whole ride, okay? So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist. I have a bachelor's in psychology, and I'm in the International Honor Society for Psychology for Life. I have a master's in special education and literacy. I'm an author. I wrote my book, Scenes from My Skeleton Closet. And, I have so much life experience, like more than 20 years of like living in treatment. And I continue to live in treatment. And I think I always will have to. But I don't know. That's something I radically accepted along the way. I'm going to get to go, because I have to hang up my artifacts that I took down for you. But I don't know. I encourage you to take this kind of display. Think about a way to put something visual or something you can physically touch somewhere around you that you're going to see it often, so that when you're having that really bad day, maybe you can look at it and then, holy cow, like your day might have already improved, because that one good memory comes right back to you. Small, simple idea, but can go a really long way. All right, guys, it was great to see you. Please hit the subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. I would love to do this live, but YouTube does not let me do that until I have at least 50 subscribers. Thank you to the people that continue to follow and continue to watch the videos. I love your feedback. Please don't be shy. Like, share your thoughts, like, on the comments thread. Like, I don't know, whatever you want to do. If you want to reach out privately on Facebook or something, it's SW Miron, Miron. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.